You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, we finally got sod in the backyard there.
Oh, yeah, because you've been doing like a little bit of a home makeover kind of deal out there.
Yeah. We got Kentucky bluegrass, by the way.
Ooh, I don't know a damn thing about grass,
Neither
but
do
I
I.
have heard that name before, so I'm very impressed.
And so it's been interesting. We've been trying to keep the dogs off of the grass. Obviously, don't want to get the piss stains all over the place.
Yeah, you gotta let it set at least a little bit.
Yesterday, I kept the back door open, and I kind of just put the patio furniture to block the steps going down from the deck.
The classic way, like any parent who's ever had a kid start walking, just like, just put a bunch of stuff in the way.
Yeah, and my Staffordshire, Silas, I let him out there, and he was just laying on the deck. I didn't think anything of it. He's been pretty good for the past 2 weeks.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, dude, I'm in the kitchen making a sandwich, and all I hear is, wee, wee, wee.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking around, I'm like, where the hell is this guy? He jumped over all the furniture.
Yo.
Went down the deck and stuff, and he took a shit on the lawn. Just a big turd. And then I guess he realized he couldn't get back up. When I looked over, the look, when your dog fucks up, they give you a look, right?
Oh, they know. Yeah, they know.
And he's just staring at me, and I'm like, I can't even be mad at you, dude. Like, you stayed off the grass after, which I respect.
That's good. And honestly, if he's going to have bodily functions on the new grass, you'd rather it be fertilizer than burning, right?
Yeah.
Like, he chose the better one.
Well, the even bigger piss off than, like, the dogs right now is, like, I noticed these fucking squirrels have started digging holes in it already.
They're aerating it. That's good for the lawn.
It doesn't need to be aerated. It's brand new, dude. I swear to God, by the time I move out of this house, I'm going to murder at least one squirrel.
Watching your slow descent into squirrel madness over the last, 3 years has honestly been one of my favorite pastimes.
They taunt me, dude. Like,
They
me and
do.
the dogs will be out in the backyard, and they do that weird sound that they make, that...
Yeah. See, meanwhile, I don't have a garage for them to take over, and my lawn is shit. So I just love watching them run around and fight in my backyard.
They're either going to be the death of me, or I'm going to slowly find out how to, like, get my villain origin story going here.
I look forward to it either way.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Did anyone see the Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis on Friday night there?
Not even a little bit. I'm so bummed out. It was supposed to be like 2 nights where it was really good. Pictures all over social media. I put my kids to bed and I went outside and I was like, there's a street light right across the street from my house. I got people in my neighborhood who still got Christmas lights on. I was like, I can't see anything.
I had no idea what was going on. I went out to Listowel to go see my mom for Mother's Day weekend, and we went to Kitchener to go to a comedy show, and we were driving back to her house, like driving down these country roads. I saw these people standing off to the side. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And then in the morning, I woke up, and my social media was just littered with some of the most beautiful photos I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, you didn't see them at all?
Yeah.
It does feel like if you don't know about the Northern Lights, like if you haven't heard that it's supposed to be a great day for them or whatever, it does feel like very cult-like behavior to just see all these people like driving out into the wilderness and standing along the side of dark roads.
Well, it makes sense when you look back like thousands of years ago when they used to think like the skies were talking to them and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I get it, dude. Like,
100%.
You get me in the right state of mind. I look at the Northern Lights. Whoa!
I grew up in the territory, so I had my fair share of cool Northern Lights moments. It's one of those ones, it doesn't get old. Like even now, like if you've seen the Northern Lights and then someone says you can see them again, you go, yes, I will see them again, please.
I do like that we keep calling them the Northern Lights when it's like the proper term is the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis.
Which, am I the only one, as I kept seeing all those headlines on like Saturday morning, all I kept thinking of was this?
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
Yes.
May I see it?
No.
That was me. That was all I was thinking about when I woke up the next morning. And everybody's profile picture on Facebook is the friggin' Aurora Borealis. And I'm just like, May I see it?
I also saw someone online say that Aurora Borealis sounds like a person you went to high school with.
They didn't used to be called Aurora Borealis, but after grade 12, they went overseas for a semester, and now they want to be called Aurora Borealis.
I'm bummed that I didn't see it though, because from the pictures I'm seeing, like it looked pretty cool. It looked like one of those like paper cups from the 90s.
Oh yeah.
I love how you know what I'm talking about as soon as I say that.
Any diner or whatever that you went to, they all had the same cups.
I don't know what that design is called, but it should be called the Aurora Borealis cup, dude.
Oh, it's called the 90s. That's the design name. If you say 90s cups, everybody knows exactly what they look like.
If I had to describe what the Northern Lights was to someone who didn't see it, I'd be like, did you ever get a fountain soda in the 90s?
You ever go to a mall food court in the mid-90s? Yeah. You've seen it. You're good.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
UFC fighter Derek Lewis went kind of viral over the weekend. Again, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who had this great interview clip.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
Never related to an athlete more in my life.
It's one of those things where, like, man takes his shorts off in the middle of the cage and everybody's kind of like, what the hell's going on? He gives the explanation, and Joe Rogan is all of us going, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, he did that again. He knocked out a dude over the weekend.
Yeah.
And instantly, as soon as the fight was finished, he took off his shorts. He actually waved his shorts at the dude who was knocked out.
Oh, as if he was trying to, like, bring him back up. That's disrespectful.
Then he takes his jock out from his underwear.
Okay.
Throws it in the crowd at the media.
Ugh. Yeah. One lucky fan going home with a souvenir.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, God.
Then he moons the crowd.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Keep the cheeks in the shorts, bud.
He mooned the crowd, which I don't know the last time I saw anyone even pull a moon, honestly.
Someone hanging ass?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been mooned in my entire life. 40 years on this planet.
You've never had a buddy just moon you out of nowhere? That was a great prank in, like, elementary school.
I'm not against the idea of a moon, but I just don't know if I've ever seen it. I don't know if I've ever been mooned before.
We can figure that out later.
I was just going to say, this is not an invitation
figure it out
for you or anyone listening.
Honestly, I feel like maybe mooning people has kind of died off as a prank just because, I never thought about it. You could catch a charge over a full moon.
Well, and that's just it. Not only that, but everybody's got a phone camera now, right? So, like, you hang moon. Yeah. Like, one of the classic tropes, right, is if you were passing someone on the road, you try and get your cheeks up in the window. Mm-hmm. But if I see you coming, now I can just take my phone and now I got you.
Well, I was going to say, that was a classic school bus thing.
Yeah.
You're sitting at the back there mooning cars. That was something we did quite a bit.
You're pressed on glass.
Yeah.
But now, the other cars, well, maybe not with a school bus. That's another way to catch a charge, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, camera phones kind of ruin a lot of things. I mean, in general, I guess there's a lot of pranks you can't really pull anymore. Even, like, I don't know about you, we used to do crank calls when we'd have sleepovers.
Man, yeah, caller ID killed crank calls well before we got to
Star
nowadays.
67, dude.
Oh.
Star 67. That I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, that's how you make your phone look like an unknown number.
That's right.
But that was the go-to is what we do for that.
Oh, okay.
Crank calls were a big thing. I feel like Ding Dong Ditch even, I guess, with Ring doorbell cams.
Doorbell cameras ruin Ding Dong Ditch. There's nothing worse than you'll see some of these videos now of a kid coming running over to hit the doorbell. You just see the person get on the speaker and be like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
Yeah. Can't do the old dog poop in the bag, I guess, anymore.
Anything that requires the front door, the doorstep, has kind of gone out the way because now, again, there's too much chance you'll get evidence.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of... listen, hey... If Mexican wrestling taught us anything, everything's better in a mask, right? You just put a mask on, and then you can go ring all the doorbells that you want.
Even throwing your friend into the pool, you can't even do that anymore because they probably got like 4 electronics on them at all times.
Oh, that's true. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about what a nightmare it would be if you push somebody to the pool and they're like, all right, so you just fried my $2,000 cell phone.
I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with the youth of today for a while because they've been pissing me off.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing it.
There's not enough pranks?
There's not enough pranks, man.
They're not getting pranked enough. They're getting too much audacity.
They're not mooning each other enough is what it is.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got a text from someone who said, A couple pranks that you can't do anymore is TPing or egging houses, mainly just because of how expensive it is in this economy now.
It's not that you'll get caught. Again, that's another one that you could get in trouble with the Ring door or the doorbell cameras. But yeah, more likely it's just toilet paper's harder and harder to come by, and eggs are expensive now. If I buy a carton of eggs, I'm not throwing them at your house. I'm eating them.
Yeah, honestly, dude. I did TP one time. It wasn't a house. I remember we all thought we were badass in the 6th grade. And we were like, bring some toilet paper. Like, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then we went to a park and we threw it once and a car drove by.
And then you bailed?
And we freaked out. And I just remember, like, it was by my buddy's house. And so every time the bus went by there for like a month, there was just this one thing of toilet paper hanging there.
Was it still on the roll, too?
Yeah. And I remember having such a guilty conscience about it.
You were a real hardened criminal back in the day.
Yeah. But you can't afford to do that anymore. I mean, maybe in 2020, everybody's stocked up. But...
No, you do that now. You throw the toilet paper, the car comes by, you and your friends all scatter. Someone's going to see that and be like, is that an almost unspoiled roll of toilet? And they're going to come over, rip it down, take it home. This is mine now.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
If you had to use cheese as a weapon, what cheese would be the most dangerous? Think about that for a second, and I'll tell you a story here.
Sounds good.
There's a man in Newfoundland who's recently been charged with assault after assaulting a police officer with a block of cheese.
Damn. That's a bold move, man.
It doesn't really have much to the story other than the officer was hit with a block of cheese. It said the officer did not require medical attention. Also adding, they do not know what type of cheese was used in the assault.
If I'm being honest, if he didn't need medical attention, I think you can narrow it down to the softer cheeses. You know what I mean? Probably didn't have a rind on it, is all I'm saying.
Well, at first I was like, do you think what type of cheese would make a difference if it's hitting you like a sharp cheddar versus a mozzarella?
I think I don't know if it would make much of a difference in terms of like bodily harm and of injury, but I do feel like it would affect the teasing you will inevitably get from your coworkers.
Blue cheese might piss me off, especially if it's like the crumble getting all over you, it gets like into your shirt and stuff.
Dude, I would actually
gets in your eye or something.
I would be really mad if someone hit me with a stinky blue cheese.
Goat cheese would probably suck too, actually.
Anything that's gonna kind of like leave a residue too, like because then that smell's just gonna linger.
Parmesan could be deadly depending on how fine it is. It could kind of be like a pocket sand kind of thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
We're strictly talking about like wedges and blocks of cheese, but you're right. If you get Parmesan ground up fine enough, if you're like an Olive Garden or something like that, all of a sudden, I can't see.
Dude, even if you get like a Kraft single or something, that could be like a ninja star. You can keep it in the wrapper.
It's got to still be in the wrapper.
Yeah.
If it's out of the wrapper, it's going to fall apart almost immediately.
Either that or it's just going to stick, honestly.
Those are actually some of my favorite videos on TikTok.
People throwing Kraft singles at babies.
The problem is my son has now seen them. I literally woke up from a nap the other day because he kept it in the wrapper. So I got ninja starred in the face.
Thinking about this cop in Newfoundland, do you think the guy could have got an extra charge for attempted murder if the cop had been lactose intolerant?
Oh, I don't know. At least a manslaughter, right?
Manslaughter, or at least tried for an upset tummy. Like.
This trial sponsored by Tums?
The even bigger question is, like, do they put that in an evidence locker? Like,
does the cheese get put away? Does it have to be refrigerated?
Yeah.
They go to open the, sometimes the justice system gets backed up. This court case gets pushed back a couple of months. They go to open the evidence locker and it's, oh, God.
Just a bunch of moldy cheese just sitting in there. Go for a little snack in the back.
It's contaminated all the other evidence.
You know, you see in like cop movies and stuff, there's like the bad cop who goes and steals the cocaine from the evidence room. There's like the fat cop that's just going to the back snacking on cheese.
He's in the break room making a sandwich going, oh no, we're out of cheese. And then you see him go, but what if?
Dun, 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 dun.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Good morning. I'm going to have to say Limburger cheese.
I've honestly heard of Limburger cheese, but I am not familiar.
Oh, it's the stinkiest cheese in the world, and if it hits you, it just goes splat. So now you got to deal with that stink all day.
You know, after you say it, even like a warm brie coming out of the oven,
Yeah.
that could do some absolute damage.
Honestly, you think about it.
think
Any
so.
of the softer cheeses with like a little bit of a bake to get a gooey consistency, or you could get like a sear on a person. Like,
Yeah.
You could do some damage with cheese.
I think so. But yeah, I think the Limburger, that nasty splat one there, it's just like,
It's either the splat or the smell that's going to get you.
Yeah.
either one, yeah, and it's going to get you.
Instead of using pepper spray, cops start using Limburger cheese from now on.
Well, it might get, yeah, you never know.
Just hand sprayed cheese to the eyes. Cheese is deadly, even if you're not lactose intolerant, dude.
Absolutely, man. You can do there's different preparations, but
Hear me out on this. 1v1 street fight.
okay.
You get to pick one food item as your weapon in a 1v1 fight.
Okay.
What would be the best food item to use as a single weapon?
Just food, not like food adjacent, because like a frying pan would be great.
No. Just food. Like, I'm talking, you're going into a street fight.
Yeah.
Maybe you have like a stale baguette that you're using as like a sword or something.
Honestly, first thing that comes to mind, some sort of like stale bread. It's got the hard shell to it.
You break it in half too, so you kind of got like the double katana sword like thing.
Yo, imagine taking like a grenade, but take out all the little steel pellets, right? Because it's a food fight, and put in croutons, like really old dry croutons, so that when the thing bursts open, it's bread shrapnel.
See, I was thinking kind of something like that with like maybe just throwing coconuts at someone, but it's like, I mean, if you only got a handful of coconuts or whatever, like if you don't got good aim, you're screwed, you know?
Some weapons also would be situational, like there are some fights that you will win instantly with nothing more than a mitt full of peanuts. If the person is sufficiently allergic.
Peanuts could literally be deadly. Yeah.
But if I throw a handful of peanuts at you, you're just going to hit me with whatever you've got.
Peanut brittle, dude. You could use that as a shiv for
That's
sure.
right. Snap, like when you see a guy in the movie break a beer bottle on the bar top.
Yeah.
But it's peanut brittle and then
How many of us have like cut our gums off of that stuff, let alone, dude, if you put that to someone, I guarantee you could do some damage.
Oh, man. I mean, now you make me think about Captain Crunch, but again, it only is dangerous if I can get it in your mouth.
Yeah. Get like a bunch of jawbreakers, put them in socks, and like swing them around.
Yo, no bruises. That's the way to do it. That's called parenting.
It'd be
brother.
absolutely lethal, dude. Hot sauce. Hot sauce would be the only throwable thing that would actually be probably the best, you know?
Well, and again, but I mean, so we talked about with cheese, right? Like cheese becomes more dangerous if it's heated up and hot and gooey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other foods too that I feel like you could, like, if I can have just a couple minutes before the fight to start sizzling up some bacon in a frying pan, I could burn the hell out of you with that bacon and the grease.
Soup to the face for sure.
Imagine getting slapped with a well-cooked but not yet crispy piece of bacon. That would hurt so much, and it would feel really embarrassing.
Oh, so it just texted in best answer. Swordfish. Swordfish, dude.
I've never actually handled a swordfish. Is it as sharp as the name would imply?
Well, first you have to dominate the swordfish, then you may saute it. That's from a movie. The Slam and Salmon, only the real ones know that.
That is a deep cut reference, brother.
The swordfish would be probably the best one, actually.
If a swordfish,
I don't know how heavy they are, but
if a swordfish can do the damage the name implies and is actually easily wielded, because the thing is if the nose is sharp, but I pick it up to aim it at you and it just goes blew, like it flops over, that's useless to me.
I want to see swordfish jousting now.
Swordfish, tape the swordfish to the baguette we mentioned at the beginning. Ultimate weapon.
That's the real Aquaman movie that I want to see. Screw all this Jason Momoa stuff. I want to see two dudes on seahorses going at each other with swordfish.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got a lot of the same texts of people saying jail, prison,
when you
tank.
put it that way, because I did a sleep study and you got to sleep in the lab and you're hooked up to all these wires and it's uncomfortable. And I was like, there can't be anywhere worse than that. And then people texted in prison and I went, oh, right.
We've got someone on the phone, which we will keep anonymous, but you have had experience with some sleeps in jail. What's that like?
No one shuts the up.
I didn't even think about that. You essentially have dozens of roommates.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Depends what range you're on. Like, there could be 8 people, there could be 40 people, 2 per cell. And man, oh man, just like you see in the movies, they don't shut up.
Now, first night in jail, how'd that sleep go?
Same old, just like you see on TV in the movies, everyone just throwing shit, being a bunch of animals.
Now, final question. If you had any advice to someone who is going into jail for the first time, before they have their first sleep, what's your best advice?
Put some sleeping pills somewhere where no one will find them.
Smuggling Ambien into the prison now.
Yeah. Never mind drugs for the inmates. No, never mind the drugs for the inmates. Just bring yourself some sleeping pills.
Or, I mean, I guess we could just not do the crime in advance, you know?
There is that. That is certainly an option, but if not, finding a way to get some melatonin in could also help.
The way I picture it in my mind is like, I don't know if you ever did an overnight camp thing, but I remember the first time I had to do that, I was just like so homesick and I couldn't sleep, and I'm in the cabin with like 12 other kids, and it's like, that's what jail seems like to me, except you can't go home.
Dude,
like,
we used to do a thing, I don't know if this was a down south thing too, probably, but do you remember the 30-hour famine? Was that a thing when you were in school? Where you'd sleep in the gym. And I feel like that's the closest I ever came to sleeping in prison. Is you'd be like over against the wall in the corner of the gymnasium with your sleeping bag and your pillow, and kids just won't shut the hell up because there's no parents there telling them it's bedtime.
Yeah.
People are running around. There's flashlights everywhere. Just like, I just want to go to bed.
Someone described it as college, except when you hear the sex noises, it's not as funny anymore. It's like the dorm room. It's basically like a giant dorm room.
Yeah.
Except you're not furthering your education. And your parents probably aren't happy you're there either.
They're not pumped about it, no. They didn't drop you off at the front door with big hugs and sad goodbyes.
Something tells me the meals aren't as cool as going to the CAF in college either, you know? The freshman 15's a whole different thing, bro.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast. You know those BuzzFeed quizzes that are so much fun? Yeah, that's not what this is. It's the quiz with Brock and Dalby.
All right, today's edition of the quiz is going to be about names. I asked you guys to text in songs that have a name in the title. We're going to give it to Dalby here. We're going to give you the band, and then you have to give us the name, all right?
I'm terrible with song titles, but I'm pretty good with names, and I'm hoping that somehow those two things balance out here today.
All right, let's see how we do here. Very easy with this one, I feel like.
Don't say that.
When I say the Police, you would say?
Roxanne.
There we
Sorry.
go.
No, I would say Roxanne.
There we go. 1 for 1 on the board already there. Look at you. When I say Pearl Jam, what name would you associate?
Jeremy.
Or Jeremy.
Jeremy.
As Eddie Vedder likes to say. Look at you. 2 for 2 here in the name quiz.
Don't talk down to me.
You better get this one or you're getting shamed. When I say Johnny Cash, you would say?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Boy Named Sue.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, don't make me do it to you, man.
You know what the only thing is? It's just running through the absolute litany of bangers that Johnny Cash had until one of them had a name in it.
This one might be a little tough. I will say we play it a lot. When I say Tom Petty, what name would you associate there?
Tom Petty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is this the one that's going to stump you today?
It might. I mean, like, I can think of a dozen Tom Petty songs that we play.
Do you want a hint?
Oh, can I have a hint?
You want a hint?
Sure.
Technically a stoner song?
Oh.
Nothing?
Yeah, no,
Nothing?
it buzzed me. The stoner was such a giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you hadn't given me the clue. Now I feel extra dumb.
I was trying to be extra nice after Friday.
That was so
you know?
nice of you. That was a dead giveaway.
I'll see if you get this one, because sometimes the band name is very unknown, but the song is very popular. When I say Fountains of Wayne, you would say...
is it Fountains of Wayne is Stacy's mom,
yeah,
right?
Dude,
Okay.
yeah.
Next week's quiz. Name one other Fountains of Wayne song. Hit me with the buzzer. I got you on Stacy's mom.
And finally, just because I want to hear it right now, when I say Neil Diamond, you would say...
Ba, ba, ba. Sorry, Sweet Caroline.
Oh, I was like, yeah, please give me the answer.
Hey, one wrong and I feel like an absolute idiot.
I thought you had a chance to go perfect this morning.
I did.
But
I absolutely. That's one where I should have gotten 100%. But I still feel good about the 90, 95 or whatever it works out to.
Hands touching hands here. Reaching out. Oh, yeah, touch me. I'll touch you, buddy.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
What's something babies can get away with but adults can't?
Went to a birthday party for a 1-year-old yesterday and watched a kid bare hand a whole cake into his face and everybody's standing around going like, oh, yay, you're doing great. But if I do that, everybody's going to be like, are you okay? Do we need to talk to somebody?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that babies get told that they're doing a great job for literally everything they do. And I could use that kind of positivity in my life.
I also feel like babies can be cranky for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Right?
On the other side of the coin, right? If a baby is having a bad day, you'll see a grown-up will inevitably pick them up and just be like, oh, someone's tired, someone's gassy, he's not feeling well today. It's okay to be okay. No one ever does that to me.
Babies can also do that thing where they can just stare at people.
True.
Right? Like babies can get away with that. You try doing that on some public transit, you're going to end up getting in a fight.
A baby stares at someone, that person, no matter if they know that baby or who they are, they're eventually going to try and like make baby know like, hey, what are you doing?
Well, I was also going to say, actually, it kind of doesn't work all the time because sometimes if you stare at a baby, you could be considered a creep.
That's true.
Right? Like baby can stare at you. You can't stare at baby too much.
That's the double standard. The baby can stare at anyone, but if you're not a friend or family of that baby, people are going to be like, why are you staring back?
Yeah. Because sometimes you can make faces at a baby and like the parents think it's cute, but other times they'll be like, what the hell are you doing right now?
Why are you looking at my baby right now?
Babies can also do weird stuff like put their entire foot in their mouth.
Yeah.
And it's just okay. Like we're just sitting at Boston Pizza and your kid can just start sucking on its toes.
Just even if they're wearing like shoes, they're just like chewing on it. And if I do that, everybody's going to be like, what is wrong with you? The baby does it. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's so adorable.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the double standards that we should be allowed to get away with as adults.
They can just crap their pants and that it's not a big deal. If you do it, you're probably ridiculed for it, you know?
If it were to happen, I would like the grace of the baby where people just sort of let it happen and I'll deal with it. That said, that's not a particular baby behavior that I wish I could take advantage of myself.
Well, it goes from, did someone make a stinky to who just crapped their pants, dude?
Like, why are you bringing it up? I'm not proud of it.
Same with puking. Like a baby could literally puke in your face.
Yeah.
And you would have to be like, that's okay.
Everything's fine.
That's okay.
It would almost be sympathy, right? A baby can throw up on you and you might be disgusted internally, but externally, you're like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you sick? Like, take it to the bathroom, like, take care of it. Whereas if I puked on you right now, your first question is not going to be whether or not I'm okay.
Our text line just lit in with like 4 different people saying the same thing. Cop and a feel.
Okay, but guys, I understand where you're coming from. Let's keep in mind the number one feel copped by babies is their own mother. All right?
Baby's gonna start getting me too'd, man.
We need to cancel some of these babies.
Yeah.
These grabby babies.
We went over to someone's house a few weeks ago. Baby tried to cop a feel on Courtney. I wasn't having that, but I had to bite my tongue.
You didn't give him a talking to?
Young man, go and learn, dude.
Listen here, son.
The Brock and Delby Podcast.
The Brock and Delby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is savant. Yep, savant. 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 And it's a wise and knowledgeable person. Definitely not my landlord. Anyways, have a great one. Cheers, you up.
Shots fired. Just catching strays out here.
Hopefully your landlord doesn't listen to this, buddy.
Damn, dude.
So, a savant. I mean, I've heard this before.
This is not so far out of the realm of the average person's lexicon. It just basically means you are really, really good at something.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it is used for, like, wise, right? Do you think you could call someone a savant ass?
I don't know if that.
So they calling them a wise ass?
I don't know if that quite works. I get where you're coming from. I understand. I feel like if you said someone was a savant at ass, that's a whole different category.
It's funny because it's like, it's something that you could use to make yourself sound smarter if you're talking smack to someone who's trying to make themselves sound smarter.
Oh, yeah,
You'd be like, oh, you're a real savant, eh, bud?
Well, the perfect thing is savant already has an insult baked into it. Have you ever heard the phrase an idiot savant?
Yeah.
Which is to describe somebody who's really good at one specific thing and then tragic at literally everything else in their life.
A knowledgeable idiot? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like, I am a idiot savant at radio. I'm pretty good at this job. I do really well. And then after I go home, it all kind of falls apart.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.